Hey there guys and welcome back to NIMBY Rails. Hopefully you can hear me because I've not done this before and I don't know if it's working. I also don't know if you can see anything, so that's also worth checking. I really have no idea, so please say in chat if something's working or not. Otherwise, I guess I'm just going to get started and hope that everything is fine because I have no other way to tell. So today we're mainly focusing on signaling and services because, well, it's really boring to actually do, so it doesn't really work for videos. Hence, streaming. We'll see if it actually works. We're starting Penzance because that makes sense. Oh, thank you, Johnny. That's helpful. I had no idea. Right, yeah, we'll start in Penzance because it makes sense. It's right at the end of the line, so it's quite simple. I've got to try and remember how to signal. That's a bit of time since I played this game. We obviously need path signals out of the platforms, and I guess out of the sidings as well, although we won't be using the sidings. And then off the... Wait, what happens here? It is a single track main line, isn't it? I've got to try and remember. I think just that, probably. Some signals out of the yard, out of this siding, and then maybe up here where it goes down to single track. And obviously we'll have a balise exiting onto the main line. Have a signal in there, I guess. Signals out of each of these sidings. It's a bit hit and miss really with yard signalling. You don't really need it, but at the same time it's kind of nice to have. What do I do along here, do you reckon? Like that. That is not the button I wanted. Flip, there we go, found it. I think that should serve, well, it will serve a purpose when I set that to always. I think now all of the signals should be happy. It looks like they are. The arrows currently are coming in from the main line. I guess we probably want one-way signals as well. So try and think. Can all tracks... Yeah, they can, but I don't think they'd really want to. I don't think there'd be any one-way signals here, honestly. Retrospectively thinking. There would be once we get all the way up here. Out onto the main line. There'll be one-way signals. There we go. I guess next is St. Earth because, well, there's not anything until we get here. So I'll just put some more one-way signals just to confirm with the game what direction we're going. It shouldn't have messed up in that space, but you never know. It can be weird sometimes. And again, just path signals, I guess, because there's not really any other option. I'm not really sure how signaling the St. Ives branch line is going to work. That's going to be interesting. But I guess we'll just roll with it. I think the best bet is to make that an always, because it's going to be affected by trains coming off the branch. I'll make that an always as well. There we go. Right, I guess we go up the branch then. So it's all single track actually, I think, so it shouldn't need any signals, he says. But I'm going to put a signal in here, and I'm going to put another one in back at the junction at St. Earth. So in theory, trains coming back can get all the way to here, even if their line is occupied. But they can't go onto the branch unless it's all clear. That does appear to be the case. Okay. Hello, awesome trains, planes and games. Nice to see you. Let's continue up the line then. So that's St Earth, all done. We'll continue up. Hale doesn't need anything. Well, I say it doesn't need anything. I'll put in some more one-ways just in case. Can never have too many of them. The game will do whatever it can to ignore them. So, Camborne, Redruth, and then we arrive up here at Truro, where we've got the Falmouth branch, which I have set up, which actually makes this slightly awkward to work out. So, I think I did do all the signalling here into Truro station, or I didn't quite really do the yard. So I guess I'll just chuck some in randomly for that. That'll do. Then out the other side of Truro, once again, can never have too many one-ways before we carry on. I'm not sure where's next. I do have, what I can turn on is I can turn on this group. There we go. This is the map, which is totally pointless. However, slightly less pointless is this one, which actually tells me what station I'm going to next. Next is St Austell. I have done Lincoln Central, Johnny. I haven't signalled it or done any of the routes through it. Hopefully we'll get there today, but I have built it at least. St Austell. Well, before St Austell, we've got this branch. This is going to be fun. Just looking at it makes me think fun. I've also got Tracksy, which does tell me if I've missed any single track sections, which I don't believe I have. Doesn't look like it. Okay, I guess we've just got this to work on then. I have heard of Roblox and Stepford County Railways. I've not played it. I have no intentions to play it anytime soon, but I have heard of it. What are we doing off this branch? I have no idea. I guess a signal and then some individual signals onto it is probably the way to go. There's one there, and all into the head shunt. There we go. Just drag that out a little bit just in case. I am going to clearly need to set some of these to always. Yeah, that'll be fine. That's because I've not put in the police yet. I can accept that. I will also need to set that one to always. Just quickly. There we go. So that should... I've missed another police. There we go. That should be everything. I don't think there's any sort of junctions further up this line. I think it's just a single track up to the end, so we should be okay with that. It is a freight line. We won't be using it again. Into St Austell. So, yeah, there's nothing more until St Austell, so I'll just put in another couple of one-way signals just in case. Keep the game clear on what's going on. And then all the way up to Par, where things get interesting again because there's another junction. Cornwall is just full of these junctions. I can't get enough of them. I'll block police there, and I will set both of these to always. That one doesn't street speaking need to be, but that one will be. Coming off the branch, just trying to look how that branch works. It is double track all the way around. So let's say for now we'll have a signal there, a police there, and a signal there and there. It won't be a one-way loop. It'll be one way on that track, the other track will be bi-directional. Signal off there and out of the siding. A police there coming into the station. That should make that signal happy. And then what do we do now? That's the question. I've managed to confuse myself. I guess the other end of par, probably good to get in. So that's not really what I wanted. Flip. Have a signal there. They come back out onto the main line, so we'll need one there and at least there, and there, and a signal there. So always and always. There we go. Should make all of the signals happy. If I then also need to get out of this siding, so I guess that will do it. Police down there, sure. That'll work, I guess. I guess I also need to get into the siding, don't I? So we just do that. That'll serve that purpose. Road and Rail Studios. I am planning to do the heritage lines. I did have them on my first world. I had to restart when I moved over to the 1.2 beta because it was being a little awkward with converting the tracks. The way I'd made do with the dual tracks originally meant that it was basically completely wrong by the point I converted it, so I just started again. And I haven't put them in yet on this version, but I do plan to go back and do that at some point. Maybe we'll get on to doing some of them today, potentially. The problem is I have a lot less information for them and where they go, so I kind of have to guess with a lot of it. I've just forgotten I haven't done the UK branch, which is probably vaguely important. We have a signal there and a signal there. Have one there. Off the dual track and onto the dual track, which does require you to be flipped. There we go. That should all be okay, I think. Probably. Maybe not. Who knows? Again, arbitrary signals on the sidings. You can't get enough of them. There's an entire siding just not connected there. That's fine. I'll ignore that. It's not like it's important. I haven't seen any in the last couple of weeks, Johnny. I saw some a couple of weeks ago. I've not checked recently, admittedly. All the ones I've seen that aren't duplicates, in effect. There's a couple of trains that have been released a couple of times by different people. But all the ones I've seen that aren't duplicates, I should have in my collection, which is linked in the description, I believe. He says. I'm not actually sure. It's linked in the description to my videos. It's not a given that it's linked in the description of the stream. It should be. That signal didn't place for some reason. I think that's got all the UK mods. That is just a siding. Okay. We'll probably not signal that. I guess. So we'll follow on around the single track and Oxalin. Then there's a loop up here. That's what I'm going for. So provided you can get into the loop, everything's okay. Have a signal there, have a signal at the other end. And that. One-way tracks. That's set for always. And we'll have this set for, well, technically you can only get out of the loop this way. So that's a little iffy, but have it come out there. Sure, that'll do. The loop. That's just a siding. Okay. We will flip that then. And then see about, I guess, I needed to not put that balise in. That was a poor placement for a balise. Yeah, we go back onto the single track here, so this can't be in all ways. Interesting. What I'm going to need to do then, I think, is put a one-way arrow there. I think that's the best way to deal with that. Bugle, Roche, or Roach. I'm not actually sure on that one. St. Column Road, Quintrell Downs, and Newquay, which is the terminus. There's no other loops on there, so I think that's done now. I haven't seen the Nottingham trams. It is one that I'm missing as well. I think I took the approach, one of the other trams looks very similar to it. I think it's the tram that's included in the base game, or was originally included in the base game. It looks incredibly similar from top-down view, and I just used that. I think it was the Vega. I just took that as to be okay for it. I mean, realistically, all trams are very similar. So, what's the difference? They all run at roughly the same speed, and generally I found their speeds are being capped by the track rather than the tram itself. Right, Bodmin Parkway, well, I did start building the steam railway. I told you I was building steam railways. I've got the first bit of it, I just haven't built the rest of it. Really, we only connect on there. Is there no other like switch across? Fair enough. Can't get onto the steam railway, only off it. If you say so. I was building off open railway maps, so if there wasn't anything on the map here, if I move up to Bodmin Parkway quickly, if there wasn't a crossover on the map, which there doesn't appear to be, I didn't build it. I can't see one. I don't know how clear the map is for you, but you should be able to see it in the corner. So I guess we'll go back to placing signals and just assume everything's fine. We'll come off there and we'll have signals there and over here. Your heat sink's gone. That's not a good thing to lose, Johnny. That is a very important component. I can understand how that could have broken your computer. That is not ideal. I recently ended up replacing my computer, not because it stopped, well, it kind of stopped working. It was still functional, but it was taking upwards of 30 minutes to start up. And the processor was like 7 years old. It had gotten to the point where it needed a complete overhaul. But everything runs smoothly now, it's nice. I'd forgotten what it was like to have a smoothly running PC. We'll just have a signal there, I guess, and one there. We'll make that an always. Signals up this end to go onto the branch. And more signals here with balises. Meanwhile, coming off the branch, probably want a signal here and here, the other way around. Flip. That should go all the way down here. Coombe is a bit of an awkward place to actually build. Obviously, there should only be one train running down this line, so that should be okay, but it's an interesting one. Yeah, I can imagine your PC does need replacing. A broken heatsink probably causes quite a bit of damage, I would expect. I'd forgotten I had to build all these stations on bridges because of the river nearby, all the way down to Loo. Yeah, given there's only one train running down there and I'm not running freight, that should be fine. Fingers crossed. We'll just continue on as if nothing's wrong. And Menhayet. And further on, almost in Devon, almost left Cornwall. St Germans. And where else have we got? Getting a bit, my eyes are starting to lose focus as I scroll along like that, so I need to zoom out a bit. I've not done any one-way signals for a while, have I? Let's put some of those in. Give it an update on what's going on. Yeah, signalling is something that we tend to just leave. It's time consuming. I found it doesn't make for a great video, hence why it's now being done in a live stream all at once, as I couldn't justify any more videos on it. But we do tend to just leave it because it is really, really boring. There's a lot of work to get it done, but when it does work, it's nice. It's very satisfying when it actually works. We'll just put in the balises again. That needs to be a always, as does that. Then work down the branch line in the other direction. We come up here, single track. I think it's single track, because I didn't put in any of the sidings at Bear Ferrers. Single track all the way to Bear Alston, where we'll have some signals in and a signal out. And we carry on up to Calstock and Gunners Lake. The line through this is such a weird route to take, but fair enough. And then where should we get to? That's the question. Where did I get to? I got to there. I think it's just dual track through. Oh no, there is a loop. Fun. More work. You've got to calculate when you're building the line. You need to calculate whether it's worth the effort to put in the extra loop that's technically there, given the extra effort it involves with the signalling. Is the loop actually required? I need to go into that balise. And then we come through to here, and actually it's a dual track loop. That's fancy. Balise, not balise, signal. There's no crossover. Okay then, saves me a job. Signal, there we go. Dockyard, Devonport, and Plymouth. So we've made it up to Plymouth. What are we doing here? There's a signal in. We'll need a signal out of each platform. That's a given. And this middle track. So out, out, and out. And they will all condense down into there. That needs to be an always. Can I not get across to these lower platforms? Well, no wonder the Gunners Lake trains don't come out of this bay platform. Nothing can come out of that bay platform with that track layout. I'm going to have to actually look at Plymouth on Open Railway map again, because that seems wrong, not being able to use the bay platform. It is wrong. Oh, there's something. Guess we are doing a bit of track building today after all. There is another crossover here. There we go. Crossover and build. Okay then, I guess I need more signals. That. And we can get rid of the first balise because that's strictly speaking not necessary anymore. And we can make that be always. So yeah, now we can get into every platform. That long one can get into those platforms. I'm thinking this should be a one-way out, and up here I'll do 2 one-ways. There we go. Yeah, it's never ideal when your PC breaks, but it does at least give you an excuse to upgrade. That's what I found out. I'd got to the point where I couldn't put off upgrading any longer, and suddenly the cost involved didn't seem as bad when it was a had to rather than would like to. There are 3 tracks here. Oh, one of them is a siding. Okay. That's okay then. I know what to do. I guess this is the main line, isn't it? So if I just put those two signals, make this always, and double check where can we access. We can't access the... Okay then. We'll put it back here, and we'll put a signal there and make that always. Now we should be able to access every platform. However, we can also come back down there. So again, this is going to need to be a one-way up. That track gets you the bottom platforms. That way gets you the top ones. The arrows still go through, but it won't actually route a train through the one-way signal. Sometimes purchasing PCs online is okay. My old computer came from Amazon, technically. It lasted 5 years, so it did pretty well. But yeah, there is an inherent danger that the company may not be that trustworthy. You do have to be careful with it. I need to set that to always as well, and always. I don't think the other two need to be because they're into the triangle and everything. This weird try. I don't know what to do with this, honestly. To be quite honest, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do here. That should be a police out. That's a signal, and a signal. That's the way around. Always. There we go. Up here we have signal and police. And this one is always. That should let us into the loop. I would like to have a police there. Okay. And signal out of the loop. Obviously, also important. Signal out of the siding, signal off there. And then again, we're going to need the setup of signals and releases here. The same one I just did at the end of the loop now has to be in the middle. Okay. That should do everything. I'm not saying that confidently because I don't feel like it's very confident. Yeah, okay. Let's signal out of the sidings, I guess. That's probably the next best bet. Because it should just be chuck some signals in, it doesn't really matter if they don't work. Oh, no, that's not really what I intended. Flip. There we go. And then the double track ends down here. Okay, meanwhile up here we've got off those two lines and onto them. Signals down here for coming into these sidings. These are all dual track, but I think you can go both ways down all of them. So I'll just put in a signal on both ends of every track. That feels the best. No, I keep changing the wrong setting. I need to flip it. I'll have one there and one there. Okay, down the other end. Signals on the way out. Oh, I've forgotten to flip one again. It's forgetting to flip it is the worst. As it's quite a time-consuming change to go back and then flip it. We'll add some more signals in on the way down. There we go. I think that should be everything. Obviously, we now come down here. There's another junction off, down into the dockyard, I believe. These two tracks just end. Okay. Yeah, we come down to the dockyard, splits, have a signal going the other way, and then it's just single track into there. Okay, that should be that area done. But it's not plain sailing from here because there's another yard right up here. Where does it connect to the main line? Connects there. Okay. Doesn't actually have a crossover, so that makes my job a little easier. Building with money enabled takes a lot longer. I did start with it. The first couple of videos I did have money turned on. I quickly decided against that just because it would have taken so long to save up enough to do anything that this series would have gone on for years and videos would only have been like monthly. Much better to have it turned off for what I'm doing. Not as challenging though, I will admit. Equally, I do reckon the UK network is actually profitable, which is saying something, because I'm not 100% it is in real life. I'm sure there are other single track bridges on the way up here. I'll just check on Tracksy. Technically, the bridge between Bodmin Parkway and Liskeard was single track. I should probably go back and check that. Somewhere along here. Yes, there it is. Okay. Good thing I caught that. Obviously, we'll need one-way signals on each side. One way. And the police's. And we'll set that to be always again. I think there's another one between Sultash, but I did that one. That's the one over the estuary. Yes, London is very laggy with its tube lines. There are just so many trains there. Okay, apart from a couple of crossovers, which I don't think I modelled, I'm okay up to Totnes. I don't know why I would have modelled the crossovers, it's just torturing myself if I did, so. We'll pretend that everything is fine and just go to Totnes, and if I see something wrong later, then we'll fix it then. Pretty simple, this one. It's just like so. I guess I'll also put some signals there and there, so we can get into both platform, well, the through line of the platform at the same time. I don't think trains actually pass each other at the Totnes, although they can, and Express can pass to stopping, but I don't think they do. Apparently the South Devon Railway comes out of there, but I've not. Oh, I have modelled that. Just it's just so small I didn't see it. Okay, that's probably it for that. Set both these to always just in case. Once again, one-way signal. And then we're clear up until the Paynton branch. Goodness knows where that connects on. It's a bit weird how far up it is that it actually connects on. Okay. I'm going to play a bit of guesswork with the signals. So, I'm really not sure what layout these lines take, if they're bidirectional or single directional. I guess I'll have a look on Tracksy. Actually, it's only here. Well, looks like trains can be routed off Paynton onto platform 3. I guess if I just say the middle one. Right, all the platforms are apparently bidirectional. So I just say all the lines are bidirectional from where you can get onto them. So if I say this track is bidirectional from here, this one is already from back here. Right, here we go. This is the best bet, I think. We just put the signals in here on the branch, set to always, and in here, set to always. And then the next signals we have are the station exit signals. Then we have some at the other side of the station. And off these sidings. Ooh, no, not always. Flip. Flip is the setting I need. That's off to... I'm not sure it is a steam railway, but it goes up to Tynegrace at Heathfield. Yeah, you're complaining. That's fine. If I just put the signals in here, we should be okay. Always. Sorted. Everything should be happy now. So if I say out of the middle platform, it will come along and get across. Okay, just need these signals out the sidings and we should be done with this area. Not done overall, we're nowhere near done overall. Right, yes, up the main line then. Continuing on. Where next? I've kind of forgotten. Tynemouth. And then Dawlish, I do believe. Not a lot going on up here. Dawlish Warren has some passing loops, so that's where I need to start considering again. So if we say you always the same direction, yeah, I guess we come out of these two lines and then here we've got coming out the other two lines. This is all a bit sort of complicated. I think that works. That should be fine. I'll just move Traxi across again. So we're looking at next junctions being at Exeter. So we'll go up here and this is it. Here we go. Out of the siding, flip that signal, make it always. Then we have a signal there and some releases. Done. Very simple junction. Exeter St Thomas. Exeter St David's, complicated again. So, first things first. Trains out of the yard. Second, I want a signal there that's set to always, because hopefully trains will be able to come out of the yard and turn around. I mean, that's what they do in real life. I don't know if this will work for that. We actually have some single directional platforms. I'm just going to put in some one-way arrows so that we know what's going on. There and there. This is weird. I'm sure there's meant to be... There is meant to be a crossover. Where's it meant to be? Open railway map. Would you just like to move up to Exeter for me? We're missing an entire crossover that helps with access to the station. A lot of these signals are going to have to go. That's fine. It's not a major issue. Just a temporary one. Crossover wise, we're meant to have left to right here. No, don't be double. Points. Remember which button I need to press. That's always the difficult one. And then we go back across over here. Sorted. Build blueprints. Signals. Got the signal there. That's the always one. Have a police there. And then the signals out on the platforms. Like so. Coming off SWR, I guess we'll call it. I think technically one of those, or maybe two of those tracks. Wow, this is broken. At least one, maybe two of these tracks are bidirectional, but I don't know which. I guess if I look at track C. Okay. So this one is single direction. The other one's bidirectional. That's fine. What I've got here allows for that. Then it's not... I just failed to connect up an entire junction here. That's nice. Yeah, it's not bidirectional after this set of points. That's the conclusion I've made. Build. And signal. Right. How do I want to do this? Get a signal out of there. A signal out of these. Well, yeah, I guess that is the best way to do it. And a signal out of there. One off there. And the police. Make that an always. And everyone should be happy. I think. That's not happy, that's fine. I can understand why that one's not happy. We'll come back and do St James's Park and Exmouth at another time. For now, coming out the top of Exeter, to put in a load of signals. Like so. And then work out what's going on here. Right, the rightmost two tracks are the main line. Did I just not put in the sidings? No, these are the sidings. I've then accidentally made them the main line at some point, it appears. Interesting. What have I done here? I appear to have messed up. And once again, forgotten an entire set of points. But you know, that's normal. That's normal for me. Okay then. Let's start by adding in a set of points across like so. Let's delete the tracks from there. Delete those two. The main line is now going to swap over to that side. And there's going to be a junction off there into the yard that I was trying to build. Like so. I think that is probably the best way to do it. I'll just parent those two together and build. So, now we have the sidings sorted. We have the main line sorted. I'll just make that an always. And wait, what are you arguing about now? You happy now? Yeah, okay. The release was in the wrong place. That's fine. The release was on the set of points, but I fixed it. I think that now works. Obviously, I've got to sort out the signal for this yard. Which is just going to be a very simple set of signals that won't work. Because that's apparently how I've chosen to play it. We'll have one ways up here again. Obviously this is coming off the main line. I'll have a signal there. there, and a Belize, and then another one there, flipped. Getting onto the Barnstable branch is it's an interesting one. Okay, and it's apparently more than 200 kilometers by the looks of it. Oh no, they can get down there at the moment. Okay, that one needs to be always. That should make them happy. Okay, let's go signal Barnstable. That's the next best thing to do, I think. Crediton. Oh, are we just like... Why? Why have I not put in the points here? I'm assuming there was meant to be a set of points here. Crediton definitely has a loop at it. I clearly just failed to actually be competent. Competency failed. Always good. I'll just make that always and chuck on some one-way arrows here. At this end of Crediton we have a signal, and we have a signal. Well, we would have a signal there, but we don't. Yeah, we have no other signals. We have a Belize there, is what we have. Because we're now on two separate bi-directional tracks. Only one stops at Yeoford. I'm going to do... Well, I would do the steam railway first. I haven't built the steam railway. I will not do that first. I will do the other way first. Copplestone, Orchard Wood, Lapford, Exford, Kings Nimpton. There's no other loops, so... Portsmouth Arms. Unbelievable. At least I say there's no other loops. I'm pretty sure there's no other loops. Barnstable. I'm now less sure there's no other loops though. Exford has a loop. There we go. Because I thought there was another loop over that length. On my arrows, and always. And then at the other end, signal out, release in. Set it to always. Okay, there we go. And obviously we want a signal out of Barnstable when we get up there. Here we go. Your most expensive railway set, Johnny, is that I know I've not looked at this comment. This message came in a while back. I've not been looking. Is that sort of model railway Hornby sort of stuff or different? I'm a bit out of touch with what's going on in that aspect of railways at the moment. Anyway, we'll continue up to Cullompton. Tiverton Parkway. Tiverton Parkway's the next station. Cullompton's not a station. And the West Somerset Railway Junction. It's going to be an interesting one, especially what with this loop going on. Don't you just love it when the track layout's awkward? Flip. And there. Always. I don't want them going the wrong way down these two lines, so we'll just set them to always. And then we come back up and sort out this triangle. Goodness knows I'm going to do that. In fact, it's trying to be Didcot, isn't it? It's a triangle with a bypass on one side. Sure, that'll do. That'll do. I'm not sure what's going on here. Gonna be honest. This is gonna be awkward. The top two lines are the main line. Pretty sure. Having said that, though, I'm now going to check Traxy because Traxy knows better. Traxy, hello, Taunton, what have we got going on? Okay. I think the third line is also a running line, by the looks of it. I am doing drive on left, Johnny, yes. As that is what trains do in the UK. It makes making the routes a bit awkward because they don't update for that, but I roll with it. Seems to work. What are we doing siding-wise? Have a signal there. Signals out of all of these sidings. And then I don't know anymore. I guess we have one there and a balise there. And make that always. So I'm playing a bit of guesswork with how it would actually be laid out here. Always there. Balise there, even. Then we have like that. The other one's bidirectional. Some signals in the sidings, obviously, as we do, just in case. And then also in the sidings the other way. And that's probably it. Maybe a balise there. There we go, I think we've made it to Taunton. Bit of guesswork there, but it will probably work out fine. I'm just going to pretend all these tracks are bi-directional. I have no idea. I think the bottom two are. I think the top two are only that way. So we'll do that. We come out into 4 tracks that over here condense down into 2. So if I do that, wait, no, not like that. We should be okay. That's what I want. Set that to always. Hey, Mersian. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Please let me know if I'm pronouncing it wrong, because I have no idea. Welcome to the stream. Right, what was I doing? I've just done that bit. If I move to the actual map again, which is really in the wrong place now. I've just done Taunton, so I'm about to have a split. I have to decide, do I want to go up and do Bristol, or do I want to go across to Castle Carrier and Westbury? That's a decision, isn't it? Oh, it's a Y. Okay, Marion, I think. Thank you. I don't like getting pronunciations wrong, but I am terrible at them, and it does happen a lot. Which we will see if I make it to Wales later. I cannot do Welsh pronunciations. You've recreated the UK network yourself, have you? I got close. Well, I got close. I got to the point that I'm at now once already. This is the second time I've done it this far. I had to restart when 1.2 came out, so hence why I'm now doing a lot of signals all at once, just to try and patch everything together and get the routes back in quickly. I think that works. That's probably everything. I think I'll go up to Bristol, and then we'll work out of Bristol in the other direction. Well, we might stop at Bristol and work down the other line. I don't know. It remains to be seen. Bridgewater is fine, and then Highbridge and Burnham. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. This is where I know the next junction is. So the standard signal layout off the loop. That needs to be always. That's fine. We'll single track through up to here. Make that always, and put in some one-way signals. I've kind of forgotten the one-way signals. I've been neglecting those. And one of those is the wrong way around, so I will flip it quickly. There we go. Yeah, spare time is a problem when you have too much of it and you realise you've spent hundreds of hours in one game. When I first started this, I think I racked up like 200 hours in the first 3 or 4 weeks. That's changed now. My spare time ends tomorrow, what with university starting up again. But kind of why I'm live streaming today. So I don't have any time after now. This is the last chance I get, really. Yeah, I can't promise when the next live stream will be, so if ever, for that matter. Kind of depends how this performs, how the algorithm likes it. The dreaded YouTube algorithm. No one knows how it works. What is going on here? What have I got going on? I've got the 2-track main line coming in on the bottom by the looks. Which is nice and simple. Doesn't connect to anything before Parsons Street. Then out the other side of Parsons Street it gets a little more complicated. Okay, so a signal there, and there, and there, and there. I think that's enough. Make that an always quickly. I'm not sure what's going on here, honestly, but guesswork. We always love guesswork. Flips and signals. Signals off here, which really is they are. A signal in, maybe? This doesn't have to work, it's all freight, so. Closed and proposed lines was something I considered, Merlin. I was originally planning, once I finished, I thought I might go through and do all the closed lines, particularly the ones done in the beaching cuts. But I've more recently thought, well, when I finish the UK, why not go on to Ireland and then France? Especially France, because it's the Eurostar connection. Eurostar is pretty pointless without it. I'm not sure how that would go. I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish the UK, quite frankly. It has proven to be a slightly bigger project than I initially anticipated. So I guess we'll see. That's probably enough. Right, continuing out here. I'm going to say the bottom line is single directional, the middle line is single directional, the top line is bidirectional. I think that is the best way to go. That's an always, and that's an always. Hi, Bedminster. However, having got to Bedminster, I've now thought that might not be the case. So I guess we'll check on Traxy. Unfortunately, I have to click a button. There we go. Drag along. Where are we? Bedminster. Right, this is really confusing. So, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. This honestly is not actually that clear to me. So I think the middle 2 tracks here are. No, I think this track, platform C, is bidirectional. The other track could be, but isn't. And the top track might just be this direction now. Yeah, okay, let me put in some arrows that I think will clear stuff up. So I think we have that and that. The other two are bidirectional. And I think that starts from here. Oh, that said, how would you get onto that track? the other side of Parsons Street at a junction that I didn't build. Great. Don't you love that? Right, okay, let's put in there. Take that out. Put a signal in there. So I didn't have a junction this side of Parsons Street. I was probably meant to. Oh well, it's fine. No one needs to get onto that line, so I don't really mind. What percentage passenger do you actually have on, Merlion? I've got mine set to 50% demand factor. Seems to be reasonable. Like, given I'm not running many trains at the moment, 27,000 simultaneous users is not bad. Right, yeah, I've got to work out to get out of here now. So, I think coming off there onto these two tracks, that said that top one is all yard, so delete. Like so. Chuck a actual signal on. If I pull this back to this side of the station, and always, now we can get out of the yard. If I put some signals in the yard, that's weirdly the easy bit here, so it's the bit I'm doing first, because it doesn't require me understanding the rest of this track layout. The problem with Bristol is it's all built on a curve, so understanding any of it is quite the exercise. So, we still have here that, as far as I'm concerned. We go into all four tracks being bidirectional. I think just no signals might be the way to go, weirdly enough. Well, we don't need a signal there. We just need a balise. And that one can be changed to always. I think it might just be that over the throat, honestly. Yeah. And then there's the north end of Bristol, which is also a challenge. I guess it's best that I do it. Just to get to the point so I don't have any signals complaining that they don't have, that they're more than 200 kilometers or whatever. I just do the signals out and signal out of there. The other side of Bristol is, let me see. Bi-directional until we've gone past that junction. Up here, it is more uniform. So we've got up, down, in effect. There we go. Sorted. So now I just have to work out how to get that signalled. As we come down here, that's a down, and that's a down. Meanwhile, that's an up, and that's an up. Then we just put in always on these two signals. I can get everywhere. That can go lots of places that I'm not terribly happy with currently. That can get everywhere. All of these are arguing. That's fine, yeah, they can argue. They can argue at the moment. Not for a lot longer, but currently they can argue. I'll just put in signals on the sidings again. Standard. Gotta love putting signals on sidings. And the other end. Here we go. There, 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 there. And goodness knows what else. I guess we'll have one there. There. I don't know what I'm doing. If that's not clear, I'm kind of guessing here. That was a misclick. That can go there. That can be flipped. Sure, why not? We'll say that's fine. Always the same direction. This can be a line like that. Treat it as two single direction lines. And the same here, we'll treat it as two single direction lines. I think that doing that where I can is going to possibly be easiest here. There's too much bi-directional stuff going on. I'm not happy with it. Put the arrows in there again. And out of the sidings. Yes, there is a passage density option. It's in the company and accounting. The passenger demand factor. It seems to make a bit of a difference. Well, if we say I'm at 11 AM now, I'm at 20,000. You'd expect the ridership to be about 20,000 for the next couple of hours. If I put it down to 1%, we'll see what it's like in a couple of minutes. Well, you can see it's already dropping massively. So I assume it is basically that. I actually don't know, but I'm guessing. Based on my brief look into changing it once, that's what it seems to do. There are a lot of weird settings hidden around in this game that you just don't know exist. It is an interesting one. I will make that always, and arrows, there we go. Then up here, again, arrows, signals entering the yard, a signal out, that needs to be always, and some signals on the sidings. I think that's done, that side. These aren't complaining anymore, so I guess they're done too, but they shouldn't be. Right, now the north side, more signals. We all love signals. There we go. And out the other side of these two loops, flip. So I think we stick to that track pattern that I already had of up, down, up, down. If I give a signal there and a police there, that should make everyone happy, if they weren't already. Meanwhile here, obviously we'll need some signals and polices for the crossover. Flip. And we're missing a police there. Okay, they should all be happy. Then it goes and complicates it by having a ladder across. I don't know why you'd go and do that, but fair enough. I guess I'll make do with it. Put the polices in, make that an always, and make that an always. And we should be happy. Through Lawrence Hill, and continue up through Stapleton Road, and then the branch off. So, signal, police, signal, and police. I think that's all I need. Flip that, make that an always. Yeah, you go off down here. That thing is, it makes it actually really complicated because you can loop around from here. So C Mills, Sharhampton. Here we go. Here's the dual track. So put police on one side, signalling on the other. Flip that, always, and insist that this be one-way track. Why would you put a signal in there? That's not what I asked for. Through Avonmouth. Goes back to signal the other side. That's helpful. It's not. It's really not. This is a nightmare one to actually work out and signal. But I guess we'll roll with it. If we come along here, one track through St Andrews Road. Some signals there, I guess. Sure. Playing a bit of guesswork here, I'll be honest. These should go down to one single track at some point, I think. These two lines across. Yes, there they go. And there we go on the other side. That's going to have some 200-kilometre errors, so I'm going to have to go back to that. But I'm expecting it, so it's okay. To flip a signal there. So that should be out of St Andrews Road. We need signals out of all of these 4 sidings. And then it should just be up to 7 Beach, so that's okay. Meanwhile, coming up here, I don't think there should be any more crossovers, except there is at Filton Abbey Wood. Fun. Yeah, up here. Okay. Signal and Belize. 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 Signal. Signal. I think that should be okay. Oh, I haven't put a signal here. Okay. 4 signals and 4 Belize's should be all it needs. Okay. Moving on. Filton Abbey Wood. Then there's another crossover. Because we haven't had enough of them yet. Not quite escaped the 4-track ladders yet. I don't know why Bristol insists on these 4-track ladders. It's actually quite impractical. Have a Belize there, and we'll have a Belize up here. Okay. That one needs to be an always. And while I'm at it, I might as well just make that one always as well. That should be fine. Then we have a track off there. Okay, so this actually needs to be bidirectional. Okay, that's fine. We should delete those. Belize could be up there instead. That's bidirectional down to there. The others are still infinite. So we'll go across the top first. One-way arrows, and then we'll bring in these signals into the junction. So, signal there, and Belize there, and again Belize here, and signal there. That should do it, I think. If I make that an always, make that an always, make that an always, and make that an always, where can they go to? Oh, you can get through that Belize. You happy now? There we go. Then we have to look out this side. First things first, there's a crossover here that I'm not terribly thrilled about. So I guess I just put in a signal either side of it, and Belize is like so. Make the signal always. It's the most impractical crossover. I've just prevented it being used, but it was so awkward in where it was that it's not really worth it. Bristol Parkway. Let's just look at the map down in the bottom right quickly. Got a little bit too far. All bidirectional platforms. Well, better than not actually, really. So, which means I have to put a signal this end of every one of them, and on all the sidings too. There we go. Then we come out to out here where that's not bidirectional. Always, I'm going to put some one-way arrows here. I'm going to put some one-way arrows here and some signals in there. So then we're sort of vaguely sorted. I think, he says, uncertain that he's actually sorted anything. I think we have. Yeah, I mean, some of the signals are unhappy, such as that one, which I'm going to make always. I also feel like I might be missing a crossover, so I'm just going to add that in quickly. I think there's meant to be a crossover here, looking at track C. So we'll just do that. And, well, build the blueprints. Building the blueprints is important. That should make it a little happier about getting out of these two tracks to other places. What are you still complaining about? Oh, you can still get through Bristol Parkway. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We're going to have a signal there. And then on the exit of each of these sidings, obviously, in my standard manner of signalling, signal every siding even though it's not going to be used, just in case. There we go. Guess I technically need to signal this end of all of them as well, because I've apparently got them all connecting up together. Who knows why I decided on that? I'm regretting the decision now. Okay, I do need to do out the other side of Bristol Parkway as well, just so that all the signals stop complaining, but I think once I'm out it should be okay. So it should just be a matter of a signal there and a balise there, and make the signal always. Flip. Yeah. So there's an arrow there, arrow there, arrow there. Yeah, that should be fine. These should all be able to get out. And that should be able to get into everything. Okay, cool. I think that's that bit done. I'm going to stop with the signalling and move to some services. I've got this page. Obviously, we're going to be starting in Cornwall with the local services because that's all I've got finished. So Devon and Cornwall. I've got one service an hour, Exeter to Penzance. Some services extend to Cardiff, but it's infrequent enough that they've not told me which, so I'm going to have to just say all trains terminate at Exeter. I think. Lines. That's what I need. Create a new line. We're going to go with GWR. Penzance to Exeter St David's. My standard pricing of 10 and 0.05. And let's choose a GWR-ish colour, like that. Default timings. I'm going to want the minimum stop time to be a minute, at least. And the interval time to be your 1 hour, so an hour. Let's take you out of Penzance E. Why not? Seems fair. And your first stop is St Earth. I'm having to work backwards off this list. It's not ideal. And first things first, I'm going to make sure you're doing the right thing as you come out of Penzance and you're not going through the depot. You appear to be doing the right thing. Well done, game. You've done it right. It is a shock. up to Hale, Camborne, Redruth, no, Redruth, and Truro, and where next? Where next after Truro? St Austell. That is a long way. Parr, Lostwithiel, Bodmin Parkway, Liskeard. It's basically just going to be the Cornwall services. I've not even signalled Exmouth. I could do Barnstable, but I've not signalled Exmouth. Menheniot. Actually, I can't do Barnstable because Barnstable actually needs part of the line out to Exmouth now. St Germans. We really do every stop, don't we? Saltash. St Budeaux Ferry Road. Keam. I think somewhere else is called Keam. Dockyard. Devonport. And Plymouth. What track do you reckon we want at Plymouth? That's a puzzle and a half, isn't it? I'm thinking L. That's the one I've chosen. Out of Plymouth we have Ivy Bridge and Totnes and Newton Abbot. And then we run fast all the way to Exeter, apparently. What platform do we reckon we stop in at Exeter? I'm going to say 6. Out of Exeter. Then we're coming back down. We need to do the other order. Reverse order. So, Newton Abbot. Platform 2. Totnes. D. Ivy Bridge. D. Plymouth. And it's just every stop, isn't it? So I just need to work out what track I want to go through Plymouth on. Probably D. Devonport. Dockyard. Keam. St Budeaux Ferry Road. And Saltash. St Germans. Menheniot. Liskeard. Bodmin Parkway. No, that's the wrong track. Bodmin Parkway. Lostwithiel. It's a bit time consuming this, but getting the trains running is worth it. Parr. St Austell. I think we're almost there. The long gap to Truro. I forgot I already had a GWR service. I should have copied that one's colour. I kind of prefer the new colour I've chosen, so we'll copy this colour to the other one. I think it's going to be the better bet. B, and then we're done. I'm just going to switch to this one. Paste. There we go. I need to put at least one train on. This is run by 158s and 255s. I can't make a 255, I don't think. I do have the 125, which it was converted from, I think. Goodness knows what it's called in here. In City 125, but I don't... Oh, I can get a 2+4. Okay, then. I may have just need the desk. That's fine. 6, 2 plus 7, 2 plus 8, 2 plus 9. Yeah, I can do a 2+4. Okay, we'll do that then. We'll put these on it. Lines. I want at Exeter a stop time of at least 10 minutes. So, running every hour, we'll need trains at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 will be the first one again. So 6 trains total. And that means I need to clone it 5 times. Quick maths in my head, worked it out. There we go, clone. Then we just click full, and it should start. Next, I can't do Exmouth to Paynton because I don't have Exmouth yet. I can't do St James's Park to Barnstable because I haven't quite signalled to St James's Park. I can do Plymouth to Gunners Lake though, so I'll do that one next. U-line. U-line. Does anyone know the 3-letter station code for Gunners Lake? I think it's GUN, but I'm not 100% on that one. It would be good if someone knows, but equally it's unlikely any of you know off the top of your head. Plymouth and Gunners Lake. We'll start at Gunners Lake. Gunners Lake. Oh, I've not set the... No, delete. I've not set these to the defaults. Oh, apply and interval time. 1 train every 2 hours. Apply. There we go. Gunners Lake. I think it's just the 1 train that runs this. Calstock. Barrelston. Fairferrers. St Budo Victoria Road. Hume Dockyard Devonport. Oh, that was the wrong track. I got confused there. Hume Dockyard Devonport. And Plymouth. Where do you reckon we go in Plymouth? We can go over to this track. It's GSL, is it? Oh, okay then. I got that completely wrong then. I wonder what GUN is. It must be something. I'm sure there's a station that's got a 3-letter code of GUN, but I can't think of it off the top of my head now. That's going to bug me. I'm sure I'll think of it at some point. Okay. At Plymouth, I want you to have... Well, I can't give you a turnaround really until I've selected the train. This is still operated by 150s. It's okay, I have that. Purchase. I didn't need that many. Really did not need that many. Just delete all but one of them. Okay, yeah, Plymouth, I want you to have like a 20-minute turnaround. So that should even out the service bit. Then it's half-hour turnaround at Gunners Lake. That's fine. Yeah, that all makes sense. Cool. If I set that to full, that should start running. Gunnersbury's GUN. I did think there was a GUN. Although I can't think why I'd ever have used Gunnersbury as a station code because it's not a terminus for anything. Weird. They are similar names though, yeah. Right, that's that one done. U-line. What happens next? What do we have next? Liskeard to Loo. Get the Loo branch. LSK. LOO. Or OE. OO. Not sure. Go with that. That feels viable. It could be right. It feels like it could be right. Therefore, 1 train an hour. Right, this is a bit difficult because there's actually 3 services that run on this line. There's non-stop, there's stopping, and there's stopping including Coombe Junction Halt. Coombe Junction Halt serve like twice a day, and off-peak, the non-stop alternates with the stopping. But it's all run by 1 train. I think I might just make it stop everywhere, every time, because that's going to be easier. Liskeard to Coombe Junction Halt, to St Keen Wishing Well Halt, to Causland, to Sandplace, to Loo. And back again. Sandplace, Causland, St Keen, Wishingwell, Holt, Coombe Junction, Holt, and Liskeard. What's going on there? Okay, so Coombe Junction, Holt. Well, no. First, I need to buy the train, don't I? Also run by 150s. Oh, I got it right. That's an improvement then. I managed to guess these ones correctly. Thank you. Right. Yes, Coombe Junction, Holt. I want to have a slightly longer turnaround because it is a terminus. However, I have to be careful because I've only got an hour to do the full length of the line. If I have a 3-minute turnaround at Coombe at both, well, no, if I say a 5-minute turnaround, that would take me up to 51 in effect. And then I can have a 5-minute turnaround at Loo. And I get a 5-minute turnaround at Liskeard as well, or 6-minute turnaround at Liskeard. So that works. Full. I could do part in Yuki as well. SKL. It's an intriguing one, because the only place I could have got an L from is the end of well. As SKW probably is taken, that wouldn't surprise me, but that is an intriguing choice there, those letters. Right, what am I doing? SGWR. Do I want to turn around at Par or Yuki? Probably Par. It's where do I want to have it wait longer? I think Par is probably best here. There shouldn't be anything else using the loop at Par, so that should be okay. Once again, minute turnaround, and we run every 2 hours. Par in the platform. Oxalin, Bugle, Roch. I can't even remember. Quinchell Downs, Yuki, Quinchell Downs, St Cullen Road, Roch, Bugle, Luxillian. Right, time to check. At the loop. We go down the right tracks. Yes, that's good. And this bit, where it's dual track, you have chosen to not do what I requested. That's not on. So out of Par. Oh, let's turn that off. I need to waypoint you here. There we go. I'm going to guess I'm correct. It's class 150 again. Purchase. Yeah, Cornwall's been on 150s for a while. So, Par all the way down to Yuki is where I'd have a turnaround. Let's say a 10-minute turnaround. Stoke Newington. I did figure SKW would have been used somewhere. I'm trying to think what else could St Keen's Wishingwell Holt have used. I guess SKH or SWH is okay. Oh, there's lots. There's lots of combinations where you could use the first letters rather than the last letter of well. It's not even like it's the last letter of the last word. I think that's my main issue with it here. I might actually have to make it wait 20 at Yuki. Then it can wait 20 when it's back at. Oh, just as the experiment, Merrian, I'm down to 1,000 ridership from the 20,000 I was on. So that would suggest to me that yes, it does seem to make a difference. I've got to go back up to 50% now. Right. I've already done the purchasing of the trains. I need to set it to full. That's what I need to do. Truro to Falmouth Docks. I think I have already got set up. Yes, I've already got my 2 trains doing that. and then I just have St Earth, St Ives. So new line, GW, and SER to SIV. I think. It's SER to SIV. Running off memory now. I vaguely remember having to search that one up before and put it in, so. Yeah, minimum stop time of a minute, interval time of 30 minutes. It should only be one train. Stations at St Earth, Lelont Saltings. Technically, Lelont Saltings is a limited service, and Lelont has only alternate services, but complicated, so we're just going to make everything stop everywhere. Back to St Earth. That's a nice quick one to set up. Also run by 150s. Hi, I'm good. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name because I'm sure I'd butcher it. So, but yeah, I'm doing well. You? We appear to be having a discussion about what three-letter code we could use for St Keen's Wishing Well Halt in place of the current SKL. I'm not sure how we've got into this discussion. It has descended into that. Meanwhile, I've almost finished setting up the service for St Ives. I'm already back up at 21,000 ridership. That was quick. Yeah, I put the train on it. I want to make it take maybe 3 minutes to turn around at St Ives. And that gives it 4 minutes at St Earth. That feels fair. Set it to a full service. There we go. We should have trains running throughout Cornwall now. So that's fun. I've also got the Paynton branch, but that's only run by trains out of Exmouth, and I haven't set up the Exmouth branch. Maybe setting up the Exmouth branch is something I should do quickly. Thinking about it. I can get a couple more services in if I do that. So it's probably a sensible idea. If we look up here, Cabanos. Right, okay. Yeah, I would not have got that from that. Fair enough. I will try and remember that. That may not happen, but I will try. Right, over there and there. Is that... What language is that, Cabanos? I'm not... Beyond, like, it could be Russian, or literally any country in the east of Europe. I actually have no idea. What's going on there? Oh no, that needs an always. Fair enough. And then it's just being the sidings. I need to make it able to turn around in that siding. And then we have a passing loop at Topsham. I do know the Exmouth line. We'll give it a always one-way signals. Oh, actually, I should do some one-way signals up on the main line as well, thinking about it. Probably be sensible. I do end up forgetting about them. I'll just flip that quickly. And down to Topsham and out the loop on the other side. There we go. Just set that to always. Oh, there goes the train. I've got it running quite fast at the moment, actually, haven't I? Yeah, we don't need a signal out of Exmouth. We'll have one out of Exmouth because why not? Okay, that should be all the signals in for that. So I can now set up the Exmouth to Paynton line. It's Polish, is it? Yeah, I just don't know languages at all. Beyond a bit of French and Spanish that I learnt in school, I'm completely lost. I wouldn't have any idea. Written in Cyrillic. Yeah, I've only vaguely heard of Cyrillic. I know it's a an alphabet, but beyond that, Exmouth. I'm assuming. I guess it's Exmouth. EXM for Exmouth. To I want to say PGN, but it could be PAI. Not 100% sure. I'm sure someone in the chat will tell me. And then, yep, I'll tell you what I'm doing here. Where I'm getting this wrong. So what I'm doing is thinking I'm setting the price. And I'm not setting the price. I'm setting the times. Price is up there. There we go. Out of Exmouth, we come up to Limpston Village, Limpston Commando. Technically Limpston. Oh no, every service stops here now. Okay then, fair enough. Exton. That's the wrong platform at option. Don't do that. Don't. I just said don't do that, game. Platform B is what we want. Newcourt, Digby and Soughton. Let me know if I start doing stuff underneath the corner that I've cut out for the other monitor, because I don't have that on my screen. I can't tell if I've gone under that. So do let me know, because I will completely miss it. Exeter St. Hang on a second. I'm going to have to go and I might do that now quickly before I forget. Penzance to Exeter appears to be going the wrong lining down here. Out of Exeter, could you, like, maybe on your way out of Exeter, go via, I don't know, that waypoint? Is that okay? Can you do that? That seems to have worked. Cool. I think what it might need then is just a little couple of one-way signals. I clearly didn't have enough. I'm definitely doing Oakhampton. It was in my old world. Obviously, I've not built it yet because I still, in my mind, count it as part of a heritage railway, so it's going to be built at the same time as the heritage railways, but it will have the GWR service along it when I build it. I think I've heard of Ashington. I'm trying to remember the railway news I've heard now. There's a line opening, reopening stations in Newcastle, isn't there? I think, and there's a couple of stations reopening in Birmingham that I was going to set up once they are actually running. But then at the same time, Crossrail is technically not running yet, and I'm going to set that up. What I do need to do is I've got the entire Northern Line in, but obviously earlier this week, the new branch to Batsy Power Station opened. And so I've got to build that I kind of neglected to do last time I was working on the Northern Line. So we might do that in a minute, once I've set up the last two Cornwall-Devon lines. Yeah, out of Exeter, we have Exeter St Thomas. I completely lost my train of thought there. Exeter St Thomas next. Then we have Starcross, Dordrecht. I think it's just doing every stop, honestly. Starcross. I'm going to turn the speed down a little bit so that the trains aren't shooting past. Dordrecht, Roran. Okay, the line setup there's a little weird, but okay. It's because I'm going over onto the wrong line here. Dawlish. It's because it wanted to turn around. No, you're not turning around. Tynemouth. Luton Abbott. Yeah, the Northern Line one I think is something that's snuck up on a lot of us. We all knew it was going to open, but with the amount of delays Crossrail had, it was a bit unexpected when it did actually open on time. Or, well, albeit a year late because of COVID, but on time in general. Did kind of surprise us. I only got half a crossover there. Yeah, fair enough. Going to be getting cross country and a little awkward, but I can get all the way over to platform 1. Then we have Tynemouth again, Dawlish, Dawlish Warren, Starcross, and Exeter St Thomas. Some of these lines, it's so long since I've built, I've just completely forgotten how they work. Platform I, does that kind of work? I guess it does. Exeter Central, yeah, because it has to be done based off what line they're coming up here in. St James's Park, Poleslow Bridge, DP and Southend, we'll get there eventually. Newcourt, make sure I hit the right platform at Topsham, Exton, Lympstone Commando, Lympstone Village, and we're back at Exmouth. Purchase new trains. Exmouth to Paignton is operated by 150s and 156s, or 166s. So for a bit of variety, if I've got the 166, might chuck that on it. Have I got the 166? I don't appear to. Have the 168. And have a 156. I don't appear to have a 166. Well then, guess we're using the 150s. If anyone wants a train to make, that would be it, the 166. It's still in quite widespread use. Yeah, I guess we're going back to the 150 again. Cool, we'll purchase one of them to start with. I want to have a turnaround at Paignton, but maybe only like 3 minutes. Maybe 4. It doesn't. I need quite a short turnaround at Exmouth, I remember. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what I've done with the 166. I thought I had it, so maybe I've lost it in the menu or something, or I've not activated it. That's entirely possible. Have a quick look. I've got all my mods activated. Okay, I must have missed it somewhere. But I was convinced I had it. Who knows? Who knows what I've done with that? Right, let's see these messages that I've missed. Caldy to Leven I've not heard of happening. Bicester to Bletchley I definitely have. East West Rail. I'm still hesitant on that one because I'm not 100% on where the actual track is going. Especially past Bletchley out to Cambridge. They've not decided where the track bed's actually going to be yet. Especially given they've converted part of the track bed into a guided busway, which isn't going to help reopening the line. And yes, Cabanos, I am eventually going to go into France, potentially. We'll see how long this all takes. I was going to do the UK, then Ireland, and then head into France, so that the Eurostar actually has a purpose. I'm meant to be buying more trains, but I don't know how many I need to buy. 0, 30, 1, 130, 2, 230. So that's 6 trains. I've already got 1, so clone it 5 times. Purchase. There we go. Lines. Full. The interesting one that I need to keep an eye on for this, if I just accelerate it quickly, I'm going to need to watch when a train gets back that they actually pass at Topsham okay. Yeah, I'm going to have a look into the 166. I'm sure I had one, so I'm not sure what I've done with it. Anyway, there's one more line I can do, and that is St James's Park to Barnstaple, except we're going to start at Barnstaple. I think it's BNP. for Barnstable. St James's Park might be SJP. We'll work with that for now. 1 minute intervals at stations, interval time, hourly, and the cost of tickets is. Oh look, lots more people are writing this. I've 150% of what my previous ridership was. HS2 will be fun to add. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one because it's going to be moving a lot of services, a lot of the express services will be coming off of the West Coast Main Line onto HS2 and the junction and everything. Luckily, HS2 is still a significant way away. I don't think the first phase is planned to open for another 6 or 7 years, so got some time with that one. Right, out of Barnstable, Shackleton, Humberley, Portsmouth Arms. Just double check. Humberley is only a single track. For some reason, Humberley is in my head as a major station and actually has a passing loop, but it doesn't. Eggsford has the passing loop. Lapford, Morchard Road, Copplestone, Yeoford, Crediton, Euston St Cyrus, and then through platform I. You reckon they're going to pull off the Chiltern Main? I'm not sure Chiltern's going to be affected by it necessarily. Chiltern's already a lot of local trains. There's only sort of 1 hour fast. I haven't done West Somerset yet. I've got the junction onto the main line, but I haven't got the actual line built. That is a future job, not for today. How are you doing that? I don't think you're doing that the way I want you to, game. I'd really like you to go up here. I can give you a waypoint, force you to go up there. There we go. That's what I wanted. Yeah, the trains go up to the waypoint to turn around, and then they come back to St James's Park to start the service in the other direction. Exeter Central. What am I on about? It's because the other two are both Cents, but the Central isn't. Euston St Cyrus, Crediton, Yeoford, Copplestone, Morchard Road, Lapford. Oh, Eggsford's a loop, isn't it? My bad. Eggsford, Kings Dimpton, Portsmouth Arms, Humberley, Shackleton, and that's it. By a train. Guess what? It's run. Actually, it's run by 150s and 158s. Some 158s for a bit of variety. They're very different max speeds. So 150s are a max speed of 75, and 158s are a max speed of 90. So I also don't know if it's a Cummins or a Perkins. I'm going to go with the Cummins. And in GWR style, the 3-car 1+2 formation is the way to go. Yeah, I think Poland would be quite a good one to recreate in NIMBY. I think they've got quite a lot of railways over there, haven't you? It's really quite a lot to do. But there are some countries that would be there's basically nothing. It would be really quick to do, but also really boring. Yeah, HS2. It does affect the services into Birmingham and between Birmingham and London. And Chiltern does do that. However, I would say there's still a market for Chiltern as the cheap, slow way, because even though it is an express service, it is still slower. So they still have a market for their trains. While HS2 is meant to be cheaper than the West Coast Main Line to ride, that's not going to happen, is it? So I think there is still a market for it. Maybe there'll only be half as many. Netherlands is another good one to rebuild. I think I've seen someone on Steam posting screenshots of their Netherlands rebuild in the NIMBY Rails community. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's a while ago I saw it. It's just occurred to me, do I want to have a slightly longer turnaround at St James's Park? If we're running hourly, I probably do. Again, the turnaround is going to be affected by meeting at the passing points, which is it's very difficult to work out in NIMBY Rails what the timings for the passing points are. But I'll hazard a guess. I need to clone it twice. Clone twice. I also need to minimize these. Set this to full, and that should all be running. The issue we're going to have that. Right, we've got a crash. I probably could have done with noticing this a bit earlier. At Tynemouth. I think you're the one causing the issue. I'm just going to check your line. I've fixed the line now, so it was the broken line. So if I just... what do I do? That button. Reset the train. That should allow everything through. Yeah, abandoned lines and sometimes just freight lines. I have built, even though I've not done heritage railways, I have built freight lines on here. So, for example, I know there's one in London. The line ran from Cricklewood over the top of the West Coast Main Line and the Chiltern Main Line and into the North London line is freight only at the moment. There are plans to reopen it to passengers, but at the moment it's freight only. Same with the Camp Hill line in Birmingham, up from Kings Norton to whatever that junction's called. Not sure. Currently only through trains, but they're planning to reopen the stations along it to get a stopping service. What has gone on here? We've clearly got some issues with the signals. That's what I'm sensing. Eggsford, are you dispatching trains before the line is clear? Because that's what it seems like. I mean, no, you can't have been dispatched. The line is clearly occupied by two different trains. I feel like I'm missing the point with some of these signals. Oh, it's only checking the path up to the train. Check the path up to the signal. I don't know, I've never had a problem with NIMBY Rails signals before. Suddenly they're doing this. You should be checking that your route is fine. I don't know why you've done this. If I reset one of the trains. I'm just going to have another crash in 5 minutes' time when those two hit each other. This is intriguing. Maybe if I delete that signal. And reset. I've not had an issue with signals before. Reset. Oh, seriously, all of you? All of you? Reset. Are we done? No, there's another one. Reset. Right. We go up here to Topsham. This signal needs to be only signals. I've never had an issue with single track sections before. This is the first time. Yeah, information for what trains are running is the problem. Obviously, we have timetables in the UK, but I'm not using those because they're complicated. Luckily, the Wikipedia page for each train company does have the service, which is what I'm using here. The rough service pattern is not quite right. For a start, this Brighton to Great Malvern's not been here before. I know it runs once a day, as it says, but normally it's just been covered under Great Malvern to Westbury and Cardiff Central to Portsmouth. It is always interesting to get them. Your NIMBY Rails HS2 has a diversion to your hometown. Is that a long diversion? As if it's like on the route, then it's not too bad, I guess. But if you go to the other side of the country, that's a slightly different matter. Right, let's just accelerate the game and see if we have any clashes again. Quickly, and then I'll go and do the Northern Line. I am intrigued as to if it's going to clash anywhere. Obviously, the trains, like the Exmouth trains, have to get all the way to Plymouth, not Plymouth, Paignton and back, for us to see if there's actually an issue. Yeah, the thing about freight-only lines in this country is actually a lot of... Right, wait a second. What have I done? I think they are... I think these signals have changed the way they work. Well, alternatively, I just haven't put in a signal. That's also an option. Only signals. I think checking for up to the train stop means that they're ignoring the fact that there's a train already in the station. Yeah, a lot of freight trains are a lot of freight only lines are actually freight and fast passenger services that need to go somewhere else. They don't necessarily words. I've lost my train of thought completely. They're not necessarily freight only as such, they're just called that. There we go. I think that's what I was trying to get at. Well, I've not had any other clashes yet. Good, the train is rating at Crediton as it should do. Now, so long as this train doesn't leave Eggsford before its route is clear, although it might be this one that gets to Eggsford first. Oh, look, you've crashed. Great. We'll get to that in a minute. Eggsford North appears to be working. Not so sure about Eggsford South. We're going to have a wait at Crediton by the looks of it for this one. Yeah, the timings are all a bit off, but, you know, what can you do? What have we had happen here? Let's reset that train. And why has it happened? The train should wait at Topsham until it actually got access off the branch completely. And the train on the main line should wait there until it's got access all the way to Topsham. I'm not sure why it keeps... They must, like... If they pass the signal literally the same millisecond, I guess. Yeah, there's a lot of abandoned freight-only lines around Chesterfield and Nottingham area, Sheffield. Like, most of these tracks are just never going to be used. That is a good area. Oh, I'm in South France now. Fair enough. Yeah, I think that these signals are always going to be an interesting one, honestly. There's only so much I can do with them. We'll have to see. Yeah, Leamington's not too far away. You're not too bad off with that. mean, it's a little way away. Well, even then. I think HS2 is meant to come in through here somewhere, isn't it? Like just south of Kenilworth. I'm trying to remember what I've seen of it now. It's definitely meant to. There's a big motorway junction. It's meant to come through right through the middle of. I'm trying to find that junction. I think it's here. I think it's this motorway junction is meant to make a big triangle around the outside of that. And it sort of follows that motorway through Solihull. I think it comes down past south of Kenilworth, so it's not actually too far off, is it? But yeah, there is a lot in Leamington to get to the centre of it. Right. Oh, we've had another crash. Oh, that's an unusual one. Right, you. Would you like to tell me why you're doing that? Where are we? After Exeter on the way to North. Yeah. After Exeter, after that waypoint, we need another waypoint here. Clearly, we don't have enough one-way signals for this train to work out what it needs to do. Okay, train, reset. Off you go. There's now a pile up again, so that's going to be fun trying to get them down through Topsham, but... it's not so much patience as months of on and off, a couple of hours at a time. I typically find it, if I'm watching a film or a TV program or something, I can't pay enough attention to it to just watch that. I need to be doing something else. So NIMBY Rails is a very good thing to do alongside watching a film, because it doesn't actually need a lot of attention itself. Everything seems to be working. There's going to be a bit of a clash of trains in Topsham. Like the number of trains queued up in Topsham is going to cause an issue, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, the first Oxford train just went up to the siding and turned around fine. That's okay. Right, let's just hope everything works okay again while I go and sort out the Northern Line. We do need to slow it down to do the Northern Line because it does lag quite a bit. So there is that. It's so laggy in London. Luckily, this is the last thing I should have to do in here, so... is it on Open Railway Map yet? It wasn't the other day. I really hope it is now, because it's going to be so much easier if it is. Oh, it is. Good. Good. That saves me a job. Okay. First things first. Where's 9 Elm Station? It is here, by the looks of it. Helpfully, the OpenStreetMap that's been used for NIMBY Rails is has the construction site blanked out on it. Yeah, I think all those settings are correct from memory. Only should be 150 meters long. My standard underground station length, 25 apart, and call it 9 Elms. Sorted. Then we have a bit over to the side, over here, sort of in there, I guess. Batsy Power Station, or as TFL are very insistent, Batsy Power Station. I guess because I'm not appending station to the end of anything, so it's just a single station for me here. Would be double if I was appending station to the end of everything. Yes, this is the new Northern Line extension. Opened this, like, Monday just gone. Less than a week ago. We're already getting it in. Gotta be quick about it. Gotta be on that. There we go. Those tracks in. No, play ball, please, game. We sort of come down and around here, I think. I'm just going to have a double check of the route and where it reckons it actually runs through. Right, it reckons it's about there. And it passes under about there. It reckons that. That's quite a tight corner into 9Ms, but okay. Then we have off the loop, we come off the top like so, and round. Well, that's really wrong actually. We come off like that and up there. Sorry, I've got distracted by comments again, by messages. People are messaging. By Cabanos. Yes, I also saw Jeff's video of the train. I think I saw some other videos of the train as well. It was pretty hard to avoid, actually, all things considered. When YouTube knows that you're into trains, it was really pushed on us. That opening. Couldn't really miss it. Right, and then obviously at this side of the loop, we come over. No, not like that. Don't do that. Okay, try that again. There we go. That's better. And because I think I did the original Northern Line at -3 and this is at -2, it's not actually made a crossover. It's done the tunnel like it should have. I think we might have technically been meant to go under, but oh well. Let's just come up here and you put the crossover. Like so. And then the other way as well. Like that. Build the blueprints. Start with the signals. Back to the signals. We've done a full loop. We're back at the start of what we did today with signal in. Signals out. Signal in. Release out. Always. Only signals. That's fine. And then that follows round to here, where we have signals where it joins the loop into a release, and signal where it leaves the loop into 2 releases. That should be everything. I am going to quickly check the page for the Northern Line. I'm pretty certain it's just wait, is it on here? I've got to try and remember now. No, it's not on here. Okay, it's up here then. I'm pretty certain that off peak was what I was following. Batsy is only served by Charing Cross branch. Oh, I've got to redo the entire Northern Line because Mill Hill East actually has a through service now. Let's start again then. Right, what can I salvage out of the Northern Line? Edgware to Kennington via Charing Cross. That's this one. 10 trains an hour. If I've got 14 trains at that number, 10 trains an hour, that would be one every 6 minutes. So 0, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 1 hour 6, 1 hour 12, 1 hour 18. That's 14 trains. Yeah, so that's the right number of trains for that frequency. Edgware to Morden via Bank, again, the same. I'm going to assume that's also the same as it used to be. Finchley Central to Mill Hill East now needs to be deleted. Delete line and cell trains. High Barnet to Kennington is down to 4 trains an hour. So that's every 15 minutes. 0, 15, 30, 45, 1 hour, 1 hour 15, 5 trains. So I need to sell 10 of the trains on this line. 1, 2, oh, I have to do one at a time. Joy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. It's High Barnet to Kennington. High Barnet to Morden is 8 trains an hour. So that would be every 7.5 minutes. 0, 7.5, 15, 22.5, 30, 37.5, 45, 52.5 an hour. 9 plus, well, 8 plus another 8, 16, 17 would be 2 hours. 2 hours, 7.5, 2 hours, 15. So we're talking 19 trains, so I need to delete 4 trains on this line. I think. Let me know if I got that wrong. Then we're also looking at the new services. So there's now I'm just going to get the colour copied quickly. Copy, new line, paste, LUN. We've got High Barnet to Batsy Power Station, so that's HBN to BPS. That said, I'd be more inclined to have them start at Batsy Power Station, but you know, this will work. Ticket prices, default times. I think my default times are 30 seconds, and the dwell. I haven't changed these dwell times. What was that meant to have? That was meant to be every 15 minutes, and that was meant to be every 7.5. This is meant to have that and the interval time of. Yeah, Mill Hill East has direct services to Kennington, Morden, and Battersea Power Station. It's great. That's a new one to me. But I knew they were planning to do it, but I thought it was only peak still. I didn't realise they were getting a full service all the way through the day. Does make sense though. So that's. I've got stuck. I've got lost. Interval time. That's what I'm looking at. This is 4 trains an hour. So every 15 minutes. Apply. We're coming out of High Barnet on the same platform as this one. So there we go. Starting out. Swaledbridge and Redstone. Woodgrange Park. Just double check. We're going via Charing Cross. Okay. Now I know for when I get there. West Finchley. Finchley Central. East Finchley. Highgate. Archway. Tufnell Park. Kentish Town. Camden Town. Charing Cross branch has Mornington Crescent. Euston. Orange Street, Goodge Street, Tottenham Court Road, Leicester Square, Charing Cross Embankment, Waterloo, Kennington, Nine Elms, Battersea Power Station. There, a lot of people like suggesting that the Northern Line is going to be completely split. I don't think London Underground have officially stated they will do so. It would make sense to. in a way. But I guess when you've got a junction like Camden Town, you kind of want to make use of it, don't you? But the maintenance on Camden Town is a nightmare, as I understand it. That was not the right thing to click. Goose Street, Warren Street. People waiting at Goose Street are not happy, probably because all the trains coming in are really busy all the time. Yeah, splitting the lines would save on a lot of maintenance at Camden Town because those points would never have to switch. But it would. I think the people suggesting it gets split are everyone else in London, and the people who would like it to stay as it is are the people who actually live on and use the Northern Line because they can at least get to both sides of London at the moment. If it splits, they can't. They have to change somewhere. Yeah, Camden Town is not built as an interchange station. Yeah, Morden gets a very well off peak. Morden only gets what comes off the Bank branch, or at least it did pre Battersea Power Station. Off peak, it was the Bank branch went to Morden, and the Charing Cross branch terminated at Kennington, and that was it. But it was very different with. It's different now. I think there are. No, it's still the Morden service is still all provided via Bank. 20 trains an hour via Bank. They only get Morden via Charing Cross and Peak still. But I guess you don't even have that option in Peak if it's a complete split, do you? I think there is a delay on my stream. I haven't actually set a delay, but I think there is a delay, and then a delay on chat. So I'm getting messages very late from what I've said. Yeah, Euston, I think, is the recommended changing point because Camden Town's really not built for it. But if you look at a map, you would change at Camden Town. It would make more sense to people to change there. What train am I actually using? Whatever that's called. London 1992. Okay. Good to know. Back to this one. Buy a train. The London 1992 stock, which is not one of those two, which appear to have lost their textures. So that's an interesting one. There it is, London 1992. Okay. I think I have to set the base colour to red from memory. Should I double? I can double check in a minute. Who knows what I did? What have I done differently here? Ah, I've got use line colour turned on. If I set the base colour back to white, set that to red. No. Set that to red. Set that to white. I think that's what it uses. Very difficult to tell. Yeah, right. That's in. Running every 15 minutes. 0, 15, 30, 45, 1, 15, 30. So that makes me need to clone it 6 times. Worked it out. There we go. Maths. Maths while streaming. Not the easiest. I advise against it. Where is Batsy? There we go. Batsy Power Station. Your stop time is going to be like 5 minutes. That'll do. I don't think you can tell the train to take whichever platform's free still. I'm having to balance which lines are using which platforms, which is unfortunate. But I can understand why it can't be, why it's difficult to program. You can't use a platform more than once, but you can use both ends of the platform. So you can use each platform twice in effect if you're terminating at it, which is very useful for, say, the Gunners Lake branch, as I did it earlier, where you turn around at one of the stations and head out in reverse. I think I technically built the track for the Aldwych branch. Yeah, I've got the track. I haven't put the station in because that would just mess up the catchment areas. But the track is in. Okay, let's set that to full. It's gonna be completely messed up at High Barnet, but there's no way to deal with that. Unfortunately, there's no way to space two separate lines apart from each other. So that's 4 trains via High Barnet to Kennington, 4 trains via High Barnet to Batsy, 8 trains High Barnet to Morden. Yeah. 1 train Mill Hill East to Kennington. Okay then. We get Mill Hill East coming in now. LU-N Mill Hill East to Ken. 10 0.05 paste. 30 seconds. Only 1 train an hour, so just the one. You've always been able to tell multiple lines to use the same station, the same platform. You can't get the same one line to use the same platform more than once. Still, but you can get multiple lines to use the same platform. Does that clear it up? I think I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Again, I think I do have the Charing Cross part of the Jubilee. Yeah, that is in, and the platforms are in as well, actually, because I needed them to connect up the Bakerloo line. That was the only way I could get the Bakerloo line in. Yeah, it is a good story why Mill Hill East has survived and the rest of the line it was on is closed. It is an interesting one. Right, up to Mill Hill East. The lag is real. Everyone's happy at Mill Hill East because no one's there. They've already forgotten the service they've lost. I think you can get across to that platform, can't you? Yeah, it looks like it. That junction's a nightmare to work out. I think it's okay. Highgate, Archway, Tufnell Park. Yeah, hello. That's a long name. I'm not going to say all of it. 375. We'll stick with that. That'll be fine. Welcome to the stream. If it's not clear, I am rebuilding the Northern Line because Battersea Power Station's opened and now everything's different. Camden Town, where am I going? What route is this? Mill East to Kennington. I'm going via Charing Cross then. Mornington Crescent. Euston. Warren Street. Goodge Street. Tottenham Court Road. Leicester Square. Charing Cross. Embankment. Waterloo. Kennington. Waterloo. Embankment. Charing Cross. Leicester Square. Back up the line. Tottenham Court Road, Goodge Street, Warren Street, Euston. I think I've seen another message come in. I'll read that in a second when I've got back up to Mill Hill. No, that didn't click. Okay. Tufnell Park, Archway, High. No, wrong platform. Wrong platform again. Highgate, East Finchley. Now then, Finchley Central. I think you probably want to go in through that platform. You can go in through the other one. But for a bit of variety. So they're not all using the same platform. Yeah, Euston St Pancras is going to be a mess. Once it's all connected up. If it ever is all connected up, because that is very reliant on Crossrail 2 actually happening. But the thought of just connecting what is already a massive conglomerate of station. Like I've got up to platform BO here. BOBP. connecting that up to Euston, which already has to AV itself, would be ridiculous. At the point your station is so big that you've got underground trains on each line stopping at it twice because it's so far apart. Yeah, the Mill Hill East going to Edgware. It is a bit of a shame, but at the same time, I think that would just make the line even more confusing, wouldn't it? You'd really need 2 separate lines then. Are they actually planning to drop King's Cross from the name? That seems impractical. I would have thought more people use King's Cross than St Pancras. I guess for tourists, it's more practical. Tourist-wise, more people are going to be using St Pancras, but I would have thought more people in the UK would be using King's Cross. And then there's also the whole matter of Harry Potter and the publicity that King's Cross brings for that. It feels a bit weird to just drop it completely, but fair enough. Yeah, pretty much it is just London Central, isn't it? Alright, 1 train hourly. Unfortunately, I will need 2. Oh, that's a really awkward break. What do I do with that? Just run an ECS somewhere? That's really irritating. I can't have a 45-minute wait at Mill Hill, and this is on the Kennington Loop. I can't have a wait on the Kennington Loop. I'm really tempted to just ECS it down to Highgate. Not Highgate. Maybe Highgate. Not Highgate. East Finchley. That's what I'm thinking of. And the yard that I haven't built. It is tempting. I can't do that. That just wouldn't make sense. It's so tempting, though. I'm going to need to. No, I can put in a delay at Finchley. Oh, I can't really put in a delay. Can put in a bit of a delay at Finchley Central on the way back. Can't put in much of a delay, but I could probably get 20 minutes out of it. Mill Hill, I think, actually is... It's a weird one because it is this entire area. And also, when the underground was built, it was very much built in... It's been this long since we've had a station. Let's have another station. The stations were built to be frequent. There is no good way to do this. I just have no idea what I'm doing. Alright, I think the best bet is going to be come up to Mill Hill East and then run it down to Finchley, East Finchley, cross over to the other platform and back up to Mill Hill East. I think that's the best way to do it, honestly. It's horrible, but brings off into East Finchley. Then I don't know where it goes from there, honestly. Does it somehow hop into the next platform? Cannot find path. Just straight up gives up. Cool. I think you can. Honestly, I beg to differ. But then what do I know? Oh, can you not get out of there into there? Oh no, there's a one-way arrow there. Huh. Well then, that would explain why you can't find a path. I will take out that one-way arrow. Yeah, this is a mess. However, it should give less of a turn. Oh, it's not giving much less of a turnout. Okay, East. While you're in East Finchley, why don't you just sort of like stop here for like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes? Kill some time. That'll do. The train to Mill Hill East was a shuttle between itself and Finchley Central until Monday. As of Monday, when Batsy Power Station opened, the service pattern on the Northern Line was completely altered, and now Mill Hill gets 1 train an hour to Kennington, 1 train an hour to Batsy, and 2 to Morden. Hence this mess that I now have going on, because I have to get it out of the way for the other trains to run. It was me thinking Mill Hill would be a good place to turn it around. Mill Hill had more than one platform, this would be fine. Okay, paste LUN. We've got Mill Hill East to, we're on Batsy Power Station now. This one's a bit better, I can actually have a turnaround at the other end. And it should be a slightly longer journey as well. Mill Hill, Finchley. You know what I didn't do? The first Mill Hill East needed a second train on it. Let's clone that once. There we go. Sorted. Finchley, East Finchley. Technically, okay, I'm going to take the comments as they came in the order they came in. Yeah, technically Grand Central in Birmingham is only on top of New Street Station, more streets through Bullring. So I guess that's a bit different, but I get your points there. Just put a shopping centre on top of it, give that a name, get everyone to call it by that instead. Mill Hill has always had 4 trains an hour, even when it was the shuttle. Mill Hill got 4 trains an hour. It was just they were very much only to Finchley Central. It was a shuttle that took 15 minutes to go back and forth. And it shouldn't have even taken that, because you could do it, the whole thing in 5 minutes if you wanted to. Do a full round trip. There were just some awkwardly long dwell times. Nine Elms and Batsy. Nine Elms. Yeah, I can wait as long as I like Batsy. Nothing else is going to be using that platform. Waterloo. Embankment, Charing Cross. Leicester Square, Tottenham Court. I've still a lot of the underground missing, so it's not nearly as busy as it will be. I've only got main line trains out of Waterloo, none of the other stations. So, just bring it up here. Archway, Highgate, East Finchley, Finchley Central, Mill Hill East. By train. Lines. Oh, I didn't set this up. Fun. 30, and the interval is going to be an hour. I do believe. I think it's 1 train an hour. Yeah, 1 train an hour, Mill Hill East, Batsy Power Station. Then I have to give Batsy Power Station a very long dwell time to kill some time. Batsy Power Station, min stop time. Have like, I don't know, 35 minutes. No, give 5 minutes to Mill Hill, which is what I'm trying to get to. Okay, then I need a second train. Load, purchase. That line should be okay now. Yeah, Stevenage via Hertford Loop has been dropped a bit recently, hasn't it? It does get less now, even though they built a line. They built a new platform at Stevenage so it could have more. It now seems to get less. What new line are you talking about, Johnny? The Batsy Power Station or something else? Yeah, the Northern Line being the furthest south is weird. Not totally sure why that's happened, and it's also like one of the least northern lines. I don't know. Technically, the Northern Line does go the furthest north. High Barnet, it would be very close between High Barnet and Cockfosters. What was the other one you suggested? Metropolitan. Metropolitan, yeah, the Metropolitan one does go further north. That is true. Batsy gets 5 trains an hour off peak every 12 minutes. 4 from High Barnet and 1 from Mill Hill. Peak, it gets 6 from High Barnet and 1 from Mill Hill, so an extra 2 an hour. What? Just the Batsy power station branch. It's just, well, I'll close this bit. It's just 2 tracks, Batsy power station, 9 Elms, and then it connects onto the loop at Kennington. It was very minimalistic engineering at Kennington so that we minimise the disruption. Right, I've got that one working. I just need to do the last service, which is LU Northern Line, Mill Hill East to the other one, Morden. 10, 0.05, minimum stop time 30 seconds, and interval time 30 minutes. These are 2 trains an hour. Out of, zooming in, Mill Hill East. Finchley Central, East Finchley, Highgate. What have I missed? Yeah, they could. The one through Morden could. The one to Morden could really do a thing called the Southern Line instead of the Northern Line. And I don't know. To everyone that doesn't live on it, splitting them makes sense. I think if you lived on, say, the High Barnet branch, you probably appreciate having access to. I need to not go to Mornington Crescent because I need to go down the Bank branch. You probably appreciate having access to both branches of the Northern Line further south, but it is complicated. I didn't click the right button there because of the superimposed platforms at Old Street. It's a nightmare. Same at Moorgate. To really zoom in on those ones, and then at Bank as well because of the way I built Bank. Had to stagger all the platforms at Bank to actually connect up to Monument. Down to Borough. And Kennington. And Oval. And Stockwell. And Clapham North. And Clapham Common. And Clapham South. And Balham. And Tooting Beck. And Tooting Broadway. And Collier's Wood. And South Wimbledon. And we're there. Into the middle platform because it's the one that's not been used yet. And up we go again. Yeah, Southern would be confusing. I will admit that. It makes sense, but it would be confusing. I guess you've got to consider if you split them, you're ending up with Edgware to Morden and High Barnet and Mill Hill East to Battersea Power Station in Kennington. It's the sort of pattern you're looking at ending up with. So I thought these lines flipped and went right-hand running at some point, but maybe I didn't put that in. Maybe I didn't do that. We'll assume I didn't do that. Seems to be working fine, so I'm just going to ignore it. Angel, King's Cross St Pancras, Euston, Hampden Town, Kentish Town, Tufnell Park. What have I missed? Yeah, having 2 Southerns on the all operators map would be problematic. Clearly, the solution is the actual Southern company needs to change its name. There we go, problem solved. I'm sure that will cause no issues anywhere. Lost or bad orders? Oh no, I've only just bought you. That's fine. Sorry. I'm so out of it now that I completely forgot what I did literally 2 seconds ago. Morden, you can have reasonably long waits. Sure, you can wait like... I don't know, I need to drop that down, let's say 20 minutes. Yeah, that'll do. 20 minutes will do. And then I need 0, 31, 32, so 5 trains to clone it 4 times. Clone 4 times, there we go. Line full. I think that should be everything. I think that should be the Northern Line back up and running. And it should actually use every platform at Morden now, so, you know, that's an improvement. I was only using 2 of them before. No, you definitely can't call the one to Morden the Northern Line. The problem is... Wait, what was I saying? The one to Morden would go to Edgware. Yeah, that'd be fine, because High Barnet is the further north one. So the High Barnet to Kennington could be the Northern Line. The Morden to Edgware would have to be something else. The Edgden Line. Yeah, here we go. That's what I've done so far. Basically, anywhere there isn't a train running, there's no signals. 375. I've just... That was the purpose of the stream today, was to get a lot of signalling done, but after 2 hours, well, almost 3 hours, I've done Cornwall, Devon, and redone the Northern Line. There's still a lot to go. I may have overestimated how much I'd get done today. Maybe we will have more streams. This has seemed to work well. Nothing appears to have crashed on the Exmouth branch like it was before. That seems to have improved. If I just speed it up, we'll see what happens. I think having it be separate lines that share tracks would be even more complicated, because at least at the moment it's all one line. And if you had separate lines sharing tracks, I just feel like that would be even worse. No, I haven't scheduled or done signals on the Hertford Loop line. It is there. Like, it's built, but nothing on it, because basically I built most of this, albeit not Leeds and Hull and further north, once before, and then version 1.2 came out in beta, and my map didn't really convert well because of the what I'd had to do to make it work with only having double tracks meant that when I converted the tracks, it was just so broken that I felt it would be easier just to start again. And since then, I've been rebuilding the track, and I've not got around to signalling it yet. So today was to signal, which is, yes, Morden is the southernmost station. Yeah, so today was... I've just remembered this is why you can't see it. It's because I've got this still on. If I turn that off, there you go. Now you can see everything. I forgot that was there. Yes. What was I saying? I've completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, today was to signal because that was boring and it doesn't lend itself to videos like track building or scheduling does. So I figured if we got some signaling done. But I also wanted to schedule because signaling on its own, too boring for a full stream. We got a bit of everything today. We got to signal, got to set up Cornwall services, reset up Northern Line services, and build a bit of the Northern Line. So we got a bit of everything in. Yeah, I can't promise when I'll do this again because, well, it is time consuming. That took me 3 hours. And I am going back to uni on Monday, so I don't know when I'm next going to have that many hours free all in a row. We'll see. Yeah. Let me know if you liked the live stream in comparison to normal videos. It was intriguing to do. I have done some of the tram networks. Like the only thing that's going on in Sheffield is the super tram currently. Yeah, just Sheffield super tram. No actual lines. I thought I'd set up the Nottingham tram, but actually clearly I didn't. Maybe I was planning that for one of my future episodes. I can't remember. And the London trams are done. And what has happened here? Slow down, game, while I try and work out what's going on here. What are you... Right. Okay. I think the issue is the signals. Well, I set that to only signals. And reset that to train. There we go. Now it should work. Yeah, the Bakerloo line's a weird one, isn't it? Because it's so long. They've said they're going to extend it to Hayes and Beckenham Junction and Lewisham, maybe, and nothing seems to ever get settled on it. Like maybe it will extend, maybe it won't. I haven't even built the Bakerloo line, actually. Or arguably I have, I just haven't built it between Waterloo and Elephant and Castle. Should we do that now? It'll be quick, won't it? I haven't built Thameslink through Elephant and Castle. Right. Or maybe I have? No, I haven't built Thameslink to Elephant and Castle. A lot of... I've got it there. I've got it up to Blackfriars. What's missing? I thought that was Thameslink. No, that's just some sidings out of Cannon Street. Nor me, I'm really tired, clearly. I thought I had got all of London done. I think it's just Bakerloo through Lambeth North missing. Let me find out where Lambeth North is. I'll turn my map back on. There we go. Lambeth North is here. So we're talking there, basically. Yeah, I thought I'd finished Bakerloo. I won't be setting it up today, I'll just build the track quickly. It won't take long. Yeah, South London is in a position where it's suffering from very little tube, but forgets that it has very good national rail services. The vast majority of lines in South London have at least a train every 15 minutes, which a lot of places in the north of London could only dream about. So I think the south of London likes to pretend it has it hard, but doesn't really. There we go, that'll do. Through Lambeth North to Elephant and Castle. So if I double track, come on. Are you not counting that as a... They're not bound. I forgot when I set up the first stations, I forgot to parent them all. And that includes some of the underground stations. I'll bring it down. Yeah, Network Rail is very good. The underground network, I will admit, it is lacking in the south. Like where it does run, it's very good, but there isn't a lot of it. Like once you get past Bakerloo line, which doesn't really go south, the Northern line, which is one strip, and the District line, which again is, I've lost it now, a strip to Wimbledon. Like they've got the trams. I guess if you count the trams in the underground. And they've got a lot of London Overground, all things considered. But it is mainly National Rail running their services. It's just they are very good service frequencies. Yeah, I think the rest of the Bakerloo line's in. I think it was just this bit I forgot. Off the top of my head, I think it's just a normal crossover, isn't it? It's not even marked on Open Railway map. They don't know. I'll just go with the normal crossover. Be good enough. From what I remember of Train Sim World, it's just a crossover. I'll also bring the lines out into their sidings. And then I get the joy of trying to make the depot. Which is also fun because, again, there's no real knowledge of where anything happens here. Comes off like that, and I think it goes on a crossover. Guessing. I think it does this. My ridership's going down, but it is a Saturday, so I guess it would be a bit empty on a Saturday. This comes round and out, so the depot is over here. I'm going to bring it up to the ground level, put in some depot tracks. We'll go with 4. I don't know how many there actually are, but we'll go with 4. Pick parent. Pick parent. This is the time-consuming bit, picking parents, especially when it's being a little slow and sluggish. And we'll just have a couple of tracks out here. That would be good enough. The DLR the DLR goes to Lewisham, which is south of the Thames. It's like 8 or 10 stations, but it barely goes south of the Thames. Those stations are very close together. So there's a bit of a debate as to whether that counts, that I'm not going to become part of, because I don't live in South London, so I can't really join a debate of what counts as South London. It's much like people in Watford will be very insistent that they do not live in London. To me, Watford is in London because it's on the London Tube map. But that's just because I don't live in London, and so and I like trains, so that's my main method for working out what's in London and what's not. If it's on the map, it's in London. Problem with that now does include Reading, and I do accept that Reading is not London. I'm not 100% where I stand on Shenfield, but I know Reading is not London. I will go that far. Pull that out. There we go. That'll do. Build. If I just follow the line up, I'm pretty certain I built the rest of it. Got it through Piccadilly Circus, Oxford Circus, Regent's Park, Baker Street. I apparently didn't give it. Oh no, that's the other line. That's the Jubilee. Okay, I followed the wrong track. Marylebone, Edgware Road, London Paddington, Warwick Avenue, Maida Vale, Kilburn Park, yeah, and then it connects onto the West Coast Main Line, so I've got everything else. Yeah, Woolwich as well. I'll just go over to the DLR. I mean, Woolwich is one stop south of the Thames. Lewisham is at least like Greenwich and Lewisham curve, but it's still not much. Yeah, I mean, south of London does mean south of the Thames, pretty much. South of the Thames is South London. I'm not sure anyone would really disagree with that, but there's a lot more of South London. I'm not sure if Croydon considers itself as part of London or not at the moment. Yeah, when there was suddenly an underground extension from Watford, well, from Croxley to Watford Junction, closing Watford, suddenly, no, Watford was not London. That underground extension is no longer going ahead. That's what we get for that. Okay, I'm going to zoom out again because that feels nice. It doesn't lag as much. If I turn on lines and turn off trains, you can see what I've actually set up route-wise. Kind of. I mean, it's not the clearest, at least in the south. I feel like it will get to the point maybe they should redraw the Greater London boundary, but at the same time, I think everything new that gets built needs to be other places. I was looking this up the other day for a completely unrelated reason. It turns out like the population of London is like a solid 8% of the UK. More people live in London than live in Scotland. So yeah, no, I've set up barely any lines, Transport Fan. It was what I was trying to do today. I started in Penzance today and worked east. I only made it to Exeter. I'd like to put my map up to download, Ruben. I don't think I can yet. I don't think there's a way for that to be shared on the Steam Workshop. I'm looking forward to it being able to happen because I would like to share my map, but until it is done, it's not really viable. Also, it's not finished yet. I want to finish it first. Yeah, I've got the boat line in. It just appears the same when zoomed out. It is the boat line when I zoom in. I haven't put the boats on yet, but I kept forgetting to install them or something. Just have a look quickly. Is one of those trains complaining? It's had a collision. We'll go back to look at that in a minute. blimey, that's red, isn't it? Let's turn that off. Boats. No, I think I uninstalled the boats and didn't reinstall them for some reason. I've not got around to it yet. I do have the TFL gondola for the Emirates Air. Well, it's not Emirates Airline anymore, is it? Just the airline. That's okay, Marion. It does appear the same when you zoom out. No, I don't know what I've done with the boats. I'm going to have to look into that and get them back again. Find a hovercraft as well. Right, what have I missed? What am I doing? Yeah, commuter belts is the main thing. I live in a commuter belt. That just seems to be where the vast majority of the population lives now. It's easier to commute in than it is to live in London. It's cheaper. Or at least it's cheaper to live. Once you've got commuting, it's a bit different. Yeah, so 375, I had a couple of ideas for what to do when I finished the UK. One of them, my original idea, was to add in all the beach and cut lines and everything, all the disused lines and narrow gauge lines and everything. I'm not totally set against that yet. I just also had the idea of doing Ireland and moving into France to get Eurostar running and everything. Obviously, once I've started doing Eurostar, that's quite a lot of track I have to sort of finish. Even if I don't do any of the French services, I've got to cover everything for Eurostar, which is Paris, Marseille, Brussels, wherever else it goes now that I'm not sure of. It goes to Rotterdam and Amsterdam, doesn't it? I think it goes into Germany at some point. So there is a lot for me to cover there if I do Eurostar. So it's not a given that I will sort out beach and cut lines. But obviously, if I can share it, then you're welcome to yourself. Yeah, housing in London is very expensive. We all live in commuter belts. We commute in. We pay extortionate amounts for the train fare in, but it's cheaper than living in London. Yeah, I've got the one line in the north, York to Hull, and I've got the Sheffield Supertram. I could set up Merseyrail. Like that's a separated network that I could sort out now, but you know. The cable car, what with one stop north and one stop south, I don't think it counts as either. I'm not sure why it counts as public transport, honestly. I think more people use it for the thrill of using a cable car than for the actually using it as public transport, but then what do I know? I can't, yeah, like, I take the approach that the cable car is only like, what are you connecting up? You're connecting the Jubilee line at North Greenwich to the DLR at Royal Victoria, or you could just take the Jubilee line to Canning Town and change and get the DLR to Royal Victoria. Would serve the same purpose. I think there's a couple of places that have got guided busways off on their disused rail beds recently, isn't there? Transport fan. Cambridge is one of them. It's causing a real issue with reopening East West Rail when they've reused part of the track bed as a guided busway and now can't reopen East West Rail. Yeah. What am I looking at? Yeah, Luton to Dunstable has got a guided busway. Cambridge guided busway. Those are the only two I know of. I'm sure there are more, but those are the only two I'm actually certain of. So the only two I've seen. I do like the idea of East West Rail, and it's so close. Like we've already got Oxford to Bicester reopened. Bicester to Bletchley is on its way. They've just rebuilt the flyover at Bletchley, so it's just I'm not certain what is missing off that line, but some of it is. So it's just reconnecting Bedford to Cambridge, and they just can't seem to decide how they want to do that. Like, does it cross at Sandy, at St Neots, at Huntingdon, somewhere in the middle? How does it come into Cambridge? Does it follow the old line? Does it join on at Foxton? Does it come in from the north? No one seems to be able to settle on a decision with East West Rail. Does Runcorn have one? I've not been to Runcorn, so I wouldn't know. Oh, right. I've got to try and remember where Runcorn is now. It's near Stoke, isn't it, I think? I've got that completely wrong. It's further north than that. It's here. There we go. Runcorn. I've been through Runcorn. I've been through Runcorn on my way to Liverpool. And I think of it as near Stoke because the only time I've been through Runcorn, I've also been through Stoke. What have we got? What am I missing? Yeah, guided busways are a bit different to dedicated bus roads. I haven't done Glasgow yet because I haven't got to Scotland yet. Scotland is going to be the last thing I get to. So it's a bit of a way away still. Maybe by the end of the year, you never know. Marylebone to Excel. Might be the most direct route on cable car, honestly. If I move my map so I can see. I reopen it as well. Here we go. There we go. Let's have a look, see. Marylebone to Excel. Marylebone's an awkward one because it's only on the Bakerloo line. Excel's in North Greenwich, isn't it? So if I was playing that, I'd have probably done Bakerloo to Waterloo and then Jubilee to North Greenwich, or even change to the Jubilee at Baker Street. Less stops. Bakerloo to Baker Street, Jubilee all the way to North Greenwich. It would probably be my bet, but is Oxford to Bletchley under? No, Oxford to Bletchley is Oxford to Bicester is in place. Bicester to Bletchley is under construction. Bletchley to Bedford is in place, so it's only Bedford to Cambridge that they're still proposing. Yeah, Runcorn's near Liverpool. I found it in the end. So yeah, the only bit still under proposals is Bedford to Cambridge, because everything else is either in or under construction. And the main issue seems to be focused around how to get it into Cambridge rather than anything else. East Midlands Corby, yeah, and the fact that it doesn't go through. Given that they have the line, it's a double track line, and they use it sometimes. Why can they not just send trains through Corby and further north? Yeah, the cross-platform change is another benefit, not just less stations. That would be a good one a good reason to change at Baker Street. Bedford to Hitchin, probably because it sort of goes the wrong way, I imagine. Sorry, half the map isn't actually visible, is it? There we go. Bedford to Hitchin, yeah. I mean, you sort of, when you bear in mind you're going from Bletchley to Bedford, you're going very northeast. Hitchin is suddenly dropping down to the south again to then go northeast again. It would make more sense to just carry on out of Bedford north and round through St Neots to Cambridge. Yeah, there is no electrification north of Corby, that is true. However, isn't it only recently they had electric trains in the first place? EMR was still using diesel for quite a while, from memory. So I feel like until then they could have run services north. Manchester trams I haven't done yet. I did on my old world. I haven't put them in on the new world, but the track's all in place. There's potential for it. I just haven't got around to it yet. It's a bit time consuming. Bletchley being Milton Keynes main station, I don't know why it isn't already, honestly. It's already more central, isn't it, I think? I've certainly used Bletchley more times than I've used Milton Keynes. Oh no, Milton Keynes is more central, but yeah, Bletchley is more major interchange. I've certainly used Bletchley more. Equally, I've only used Bletchley once, and Milton Keynes never, so that's not saying much, but... yeah, there's only one train each way out of Corby to the north at the moment. I don't know why. Like, I get that it's electrified to Corby, but the East Midlands electrification is a questionable one at best, because even on the main line, it only goes to Market Harborough, which is a really weird place to end it. Yeah, Milton Keynes is an interesting place. It's very grid based, isn't it? It's very 60s. It does get Avanti services though. Like they get the high speed services, and that's where the northernmost Southern service terminates, because Southern obviously run a service from Clapham Junction to Milton Keynes. Yeah. I think the one that needs reopening, the line that needs reopening, is Stratford down to Honeybourne. It's almost connected still. But it's just that tiny section out of Stratford. The track bed's all still there. Obviously, you've got the depot at Longmarston, where they're overhauling the D-stock into 230s and 484s and whatever else. But yeah, living on Thameslink and just commuting on Thameslink, I imagine, is very useful because it is a very frequent service, especially getting in towards the centre. 24 trains an hour is very underground level service through the centre of the city. It is impressively frequent. Right, what are we looking at? Cheltenham to Stratford. I've got lost. Cheltenham is here. Yeah, I mean, Cheltenham to Stratford would also make sense. I'm talking about Stratford to Honeybourne just because most of the track is already there. Cheltenham to Stratford would be another new line, in effect, wouldn't it? There's not really a track bed left. Well, I guess if you count this as a track bed, which you could, I guess, it probably is one. Coming off there and down to Cheltenham would make sense, but obviously, yeah, you do have to. That's quite a lot more track to build. The Stratford to Honeybourne is a tiny amount extra. The mainline electrification and short of Leicester. Yeah, they don't want to know. They don't want to do Leicester because they don't know what to do with the track there. Leicester needs an upgrade. Having been through Leicester a couple of times, it's so congested, especially cross country, with inability to run more than 2 coaches. It is extremely congested through Leicester, and more tracks and more trains would help that. Yeah, Milton Keynes is just a mess. West Somerset will be added eventually. I'm trying to do the National Rail network first, and then go back and do the steam lines afterwards. I had them. If you've seen my playlist because I've effectively built the UK twice at this point, or this much of the UK twice. I built this far once, and then when 1.2 dropped into beta, I restarted because the tracks are so messed up. So I did have the heritage lines on my first version. I just haven't put them into the second one yet. So if you want to go back and watch my videos of them, I think I did do the Somerset in one of the videos. I hope. Now that I've said that, I might have skipped over it. I definitely did it, but whether I did it in a video or not is a different matter. Honeybourne is on the Worcester to Oxford line, so it's direct trains from Paddington through to Hereford, Worcester and Hereford, technically every hour, although a lot of the stops are missed out on the line. It's a weird one because it's a very long line with not a lot else going on, but it does get direct services to Paddington. I'm not sure. Realistically, I'm not sure extending just to Honeybourne would be worth it. What it would allow you to do, though, is run a loop service. You could run a Stratford to Honeybourne to Worcester to Droitwich to Kidderminster to Snow Hill to Moore Street and back to Stratford, all the way around in a loop. I might not have recorded West Somerset. It was definitely on the map, but I might not have recorded it. I'll see if I can find it now. If I just save this quickly. Can I load a game from here? No, I can't. That's impractical. Let's see if I can find my old one. Say that one. Probably close enough. Probably in here. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, I put the boats on here. So the white trains are the heritage lines. So I'm going to pause it while it validates the track. Yeah, so we've got West Somerset here. There's a train up in Minehead. What we're doing. Just do that quickly before my screen turns off, because it's about to turn off. There we go. Yeah, so I did do the West Somerset out of Minehead. All the signals are turned on. It's a nightmare. Just turn those off quickly. And it runs down to... I think I ran it all the way to Norton Fitzwarren, off the top of my head. Yeah, I did. Yeah, this is just after the map converted, and so normally it was fine, but where I had, like, the one I know was an issue was at north out of Woking. 4-track main lines out of Woking, because I was doing up, down with the limitations of dual track. Everything was wrong. Norfolk, that's one out of Sheringham, isn't it? No. It turns out I built the station in Sheringham, but I never actually built the line. I did do most of them, though. I had Lag. I had Epping to Ongar. I had Spa Valley, Bluebell, Romney Hearth and Dymchurch, Shepherd's Well, whatever it's called, the one out of Shepherd's Well, Watercress, Isle of Wight, Swanage, South Devon, that one, the one through Oakhampton, can't remember what it is, and Bodmin and Wenford. I did have a lot of the heritage lines in. Yeah, this is what I'm aiming to get back to. This is what I had just before I switched to 1.2 and restarted. So obviously I've got a lot more track now, but I've got a lot less services going on. So I've still got to replace all the services. But this is the ultimate aim. Got to get back to this point. March to Wisbech. I know where March is, but where's Wisbech? I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right. March is in here, isn't it? Where's Wisbech? Oh, up there. That looks like it used to have a line, didn't it? That looks like it's a closed line. There are a lot of places in Norfolk, Suffolk that are closed now. I haven't done the Isle of Man yet. It's in the plans along with Ireland. Once I finish Great Britain, we'll move over to Ireland and the Isle of Man, and then France. Paddington to Leamington via Stratford. That would be quite the journey there. Suggesting Paddington to Oxford to Banbury to... Oh no, Paddington to Leamington via Stratford. So that'd be Paddington to Honeybourne to Stratford to Leamington. Or you could do Paddington to Hereford via Leamington. Paddington to Oxford to Leamington to Stratford to Honeybourne to Worcester to Hereford. You'd really go for it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've been going for almost 3.5 hours, and I haven't eaten yet this evening. So I think we'll probably wrap up the stream here. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed. Maybe I'll do another stream soon. I can't promise when it will be because I am busy with uni now, on and off. So we'll see. Probably won't be weekly, but we'll see about doing them every now and again. Yeah. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.